Let's now take a look at track prep in Radiologik Scheduler. We'll launch Radiologik Scheduler. We'll go to the track prep pane. So track prep is a feature of Radiologik Scheduler that is included with the basic free version that analyzes tracks for the best transitions. And it does so by changing its normalization if you choose to, and then adjusting track properties for how they perform with the transitions, start stops, and transitions in Radiologik DJ. What it adjusts is the track properties. So anywhere in DJ where you can select tracks, you can select a track and press the properties button and you get the track properties window. So the track properties window will show you all the track properties here. For instance, I have the ramp set, which I set manually. This is how far I can talk into the song or how far a voiceover can talk into a song. There is a start trim. There is an end trim. You optionally can have a fade in and decide what length you would like that fade in to be. There's a fade out. You can set that to be nothing or how long you want that fade out to be. And there's an overlap, which in this track is set to default. If it's set to default, it uses, in the Radiologik DJ settings, the overlap set here. So it will always be 2 seconds. So whatever you have set here. Now you could go through all of your tracks and manually adjust these, but it's much easier and faster to go into Radiologik Scheduler, select track prep, and have it analyze the tracks for all of this information and get it done much more quickly. So track prep, by the description here, says track prep examines audio to set track properties for loudness and best segues. And the directions are select a preset, presets are here, or adjust the settings below, down here, manually for loudness and segue analysis. Make a track source selection over here, and press the process button. So the built-in presets are the top ones here, these top 5 of even gap, which will leave some gap between songs, no gap, which will leave basically no gap between songs, light overlap, heavy overlap, and ultra overlap. And then you can create your own with the plus button here once you change the settings to what you like. You can take something like ultra overlap, adjust it a little bit, and make your own preset. So I've made my own preset here. So the first thing it's going to do is the normalization gain loudness. And what it uses for this is the replay gain 2.0 algorithm. What this does is it normalizes the audio of the track just for Radiologik DJ's performance. And it's something like Apple Music's sound check. And you can set the loudness value here or have it off to remove it. So some of the values in here are minus 18 LUFS or loudness units, which is the replay gain normal. Minus 16 LUFS is Apple Soundcheck, so you'll be the closest to what Apple Soundcheck does here. Or you can have it set to minus 14 LUFS, which is what I typically do for typical online services such as Spotify. And down here we have segue analysis with its checkbox on. It will use the settings here. And I'm not going to explain all of these settings, but they are explained if you press the help button here. It'll show you all about track properties and track prep. And the segue analysis, all of these values are all explained here and how they work. In addition to this, there are also overrides that you can do to batch process things to all the same value. If you want to set all the ramps to the same value or send the hints, you can do those all in batch with these overrides here as well. There are several other settings here that are explained, but let's just stick with the simple for now. So I'm going to use my preset of Modern Mix, which is based on the Ultra overlap. And having done that, I can either select the tracks I want to process here. So let's pick 80s All here, for instance. I'm going to just pick 3 tracks here and select the tracks in the music app, hit process, and it's going to go through. It's going to adjust the gain here and set the overlap, end trim, fade down, etc., etc. I can also do it by playlist. So I have this 80s All playlist. This will take a little while, and it may not finish before this video is over. But we have 468 songs here, and I'm going to select 80s All as the playlist here, and hit process and let that roll. So while that's rolling, I want to point out a couple other things. One is, if you happen to do podcasts, and let's see if we have a MacCast podcast here, you can actually, when podcasts come in, you can have them automatically do the track prep preset that you want. So every time an episode is downloaded, you could say, well, I want it to do one of these presets, so it's track prepped for radio. So that can be all automated. Another interesting point is that you can do it with AppleScript as well. So I'm going to take the scheduler app here, bring it over to Script Editor so we can see the definitions here. And I'm going to search for track prep. And there's the track prep definition right there. So with an AppleScript, you can actually take an AppleScript. We'll make one here. It would be tell application Radiologik scheduler track prep. And I'll do end tell here. And the way it works is track prep, you pick the preset, and then optionally you can put in the playlist. So I can do, what is the preset that I'm using right now? It is Modern Mix. So we'll do track prep Modern Mix, and then I want the playlist to be 80s All. I'll do a syntax check on that. So if I ran this, it would do exactly the same thing that this is doing right here, right now. And let's say if you are adding tracks periodically, you could actually make a task here that does an AppleScript like this. You save this AppleScript in the scripts folder, in the Radiologik folder, in the music folder, and pick that AppleScript here. And you could have it run every day so that it track preps a playlist, and any tracks that were previously done with the exact same settings in Scheduler will just simply be skipped over, and it will actually do all the ones that are new. So it'll be a very fast process. But that's a nice automatic way to get your prep work done. So that's it for track prep.